Okay, good morning, everybody. We are live for the NY Open. Oh, it's already, look at that. It's already, oh, you ain't seen my screen. 1 minute, let me get a screen up. Look at this, it's already starting to move and it hasn't even opened yet. Crazy, crazy stuff. Peter, good to see you. Mark, great to see you. Good morning. Dave, Coach Z, Crypto, Amar, Holy Earth. The whole gang's back. How's everyone doing? Sorry I couldn't stream yesterday, but I hope you all had a good weekend. Boom, now we've opened. Look at this. So my suspicion today, let me bump this up to 16. My suspicion today is that we're going to close a gap that we had. What day was it? Thursday to Friday. There was a little opening gap here. I have a suspicion we're going to try and close that today, because we're getting close to it. Let's put it that way. So yeah, that's my suspicion. Nifa, good to see you. Where were you yesterday? I missed you. Good morning. I do apologize. I had a bit of other work I had to do, and I just didn't have time, unfortunately, to trade. But I'm back. Some days I will, unfortunately, not stream, but majority of the time, say 90% of the time, I am live. Saying that, today I do have to, unfortunately, I got an interview thing I have to do at 4 p.m. UK time. It's now 2:32, so basically in an hour and a half, I do have to end the stream. But we should get some good trades in regardless. Kova, good morning to you. How are you? So really strong open for the sellers. Let me just double check I got all this right. Yep, 5. It's micro, good. All right. Everything seems nice. So ideally, I mean, we sold off massively today, but I do have a suspicion we're going to that gap. Now, I don't want to chase the market just yet. I kind of want to see what happens on the open, see what's kind of going on with the volume, because the buyers did kind of bring it back for a bit, and they had a very nice kind of steep movement up. So I'm not writing them off just yet, the buyers. In fact, I need to make this even bigger. I need to make this 20 ticks per row, I think. Just to have a good look at it. Let's have a look. Yeah, let's came in right here. Oh, look at that, 557. What was that? Let's draw a line there. So that was buyers right there. Oh, lost connection. Hopefully you guys can still see me. Let me know if you can see me. If I'm still live. Because my connection just dropped. Hopefully I didn't mess up the whole stream. Oh. Just write something in the chat if I'm still there. Can you still see my screen? Is everything? Yeah, you can? Oh, okay, perfect. Thank you, Nifa. Thank you. Awesome. Okay, perfect. So yeah, that 557 right there. Looks like a lot of sell pressure, but that's just buyers getting stopped out, right? So imagine, just below that little low there was a bunch of buyers came in, moved their stop loss up, and they got taken out on the open candle. That's why there's a big spike in the sell numbers there. So not real sell pressure. This is real buying, though. What we're seeing here coming in is real buying, okay? All these guys here, these are legit buyers. Now, granted, some of them are going to be some of these sellers from the open, potentially getting out on the pullback, break even, whatever. But there is some true buy pressure coming into the market. We've got a few buyers trapped at the top here now. We've got some sellers coming in. Buyers are still buying it up near this area. So they're still happy to keep trying to get this market up. So I'm going to see if these buyers will start failing potentially and then jump in for a short, maybe. We shall see. The buyers are still coming in quite heavy. There's a bit of absorption happening right at the top here. So this, I'm going to keep my eye on this area right here. You're seeing those buy numbers go up and then instantly drop back down again. That means there are some aggressive sellers willing to trade up here, and they're holding the buyers back. They could potentially reverse this market. All right, a bit of sell pressure coming in. I'm going to go quickly short and have a stop literally just above these guys here, because I believe if I'm right and they can hold it off, we might have a really good move here. But if buyers, look, they're coming in heavy again. If those buyers come in a bit too heavy, and they will take it up. We got stopped out. All right, they did manage to break through there. But just in that moment there was something happening here. There were sellers willing to transact, and the buyers just came in really strong. So that's why you can have a stop really tight. If it succeeded, we could have gone down, at least back down to these lows here, had a really nice risk reward. But it was a failed trade. So what? It cost me $182. Not a lot. So a really tight stop. Not a big deal at all. But buyers still coming in heavy. Look at these, but holy moly, 400. Wow. You don't see that every day. That's definitely a lot of sellers getting stopped out there, I think. A lot of sellers on the open getting out, basically. But this could be, again, where sellers might take control. Sellers coming in again. I do have this feeling sellers might take it. 130. I want to see true buy pressure come in, though, before I jump in. I want to see buyers fail, because I'm not counting those as real buyers. I don't want to chase the market. So there's some real buying coming in. These guys here, it comes down to them now. If they fail, we can go short again. Just keeping my eye on them. I've got my finger on the sell button. I haven't actually entered yet. I'm just hovering over, and it already puts the brackets. So no, not yet. Not yet. Oh, I just want to see a big chunk of sellers come in somewhere. Come on, boys. Buyers are still buying it up. It's not ready yet. Heng Wong, good to see you. How are you? Oh, bunch of buyers at the top here again. All right, there's a lot of buy pressure coming into this market right now. Huge amounts. I want to see these guys fail. If we get below them, I will be happy to go short. I could front run this in expectations that sellers are going to try and squeeze these buyers out, but I would be front running it. I can have a stop just above them. I just want a little bit of confirmation from the sellers. I want to see some sell aggression come in, because I like how we're trading below a big chunk of buyers right now. But the buyers could just come back in like they are right now, you see. I need to see sellers willing to actually short here aggressively, because they're just coming in with small amounts. They're not coming in big chunks. Look at that, another 100. Again, the buyers are really piling it on here. It looks like they might actually fail here, potentially. Sellers are definitely holding them off, but we need to see sell aggression. That we haven't had any real sell aggression come in yet. See, they're not managing to do it. There was no real sellers have come in. And buyers just kept buying into it. These buyers are extremely aggressive. Soon as the sellers come in and get below a lot of this volume, we've got a trade here. We do have a trade then. Just trying to keep my eye on the numbers to see if there's any big chunks of sellers coming in. Again, I'm just hovering my finger over the sell button. I haven't actually sold yet. Another 100. Wow. Oh, there was a bit of a chunk there, but not great. There's a little bit going on here. All right, I'm going to go short. I'm seeing a little bit. They've reloaded the buyers, but again, I'm going to give it one more shot for these sellers Look at that. They've reloaded back to 200. They did drop them down almost to zero, but these buyers keep reloading. I need to see sellers come in with aggression, real sell aggression come in. Otherwise, this ain't working. Stop can be, I mean, yeah, technically above that wick here, above those buyers there. But I'm seeing a lot of buyers come in, but they're really struggling to get the market up. There's a lot of volume being put into the market, but they're not really pushing it up right now. So as long as sellers come in aggressive, they can push this market down. We're seeing a little bit of sell aggression come in, but it's not enough. We need a few hundred minimum, to really get this going. So I've entered a bit early just based on the buyers sort of struggling, in hopes that sellers start coming in strong like they do now. There we go, and start taking out a lot of these buyers, and these buyers drop out. But we need to see them drop out the market as well. All right. They can't just, what's the word? We need to see buyers actually dropping out the market. But they're not dropping out just yet. They're still reloading. Buyers are still willing to buy. They haven't given up. Look at that. They're buying higher than the sellers now. This is starting to look a bit bad. I've got my finger on flatten because I might, if the sellers don't come in heavy and start getting below these buyers properly and squeeze them out in the next few minutes, I have to cut this trade or potentially get stopped out here. Because if they don't do it soon, I don't think it's going to happen because they're just not aggressive enough yet. I don't know what they're waiting for, the sellers. We're at a high here. There should be, nah. Look at that. Buyers are still buying it up. I think higher up is going to be our area. I think I'm out. Yeah. Unfortunately not. Just couldn't get it. Didn't have that aggression come in. Nifa says, I've been bearish all London session. My bias bullish. Oh, I mean, it's starting to look very bullish now. Look at all that volume come in. Wow. All right. So we've got a gap at the top here. Let me zoom out. This one looks quite nice. So I can imagine sellers might wait a little bit. All right. We're in it already. Freaking hell, that was quick. Just jumped into it. If the sellers do not come in here, I am going to switch my bias to be more bullish. Because we got very close to that daily gap and we haven't filled it yet. All right, we've got a bit of sell pressure coming in. Nothing too spectacular at the moment. Nothing that the buyers can't, eat through. Come on, show me something. Show me something. Oh. Aditya, brother, see gold. I'll take a look at gold soon, all right? I don't really trade gold, though. To be honest, gold is not my instrument. But I can have a look soon. Now these buyers are just buying it all up. They are way too aggressive right now. The volume that they're posting is serious. But again, they're starting to fail at the top here. If sellers were to come in a bit more aggressive, they'll get this market down. All right, here's the first bit of aggression from the sellers. Again, I could jump in based on that, but I want to see if buyers give up. Because this could be. I feel like I might get trapped if I enter, and it's just going to push right up again. 119. Oh, it's not bad. I want a few stops or whatever getting triggered. Got my finger potentially here. All right, here's the buying coming in that I'm waiting for. All right. Now I want to see these buyers essentially fail. If it doesn't happen here, then I'm switching to a bullish bias. And the seller's one last chance, essentially. Sellers are still trying to defend. There was a nice chunk of sell volume. Go in. Move. This thing's so annoying. And we're going to see if sellers can really bring it down now. We want to stay basically... I mean, where my stop is where my stop is. I may have to flatten if I see... But if buyers start coming in aggressive again, trying to defend all this volume here, we might have issues. So I need to see sellers constantly piling on the orders. If they lay off the gas, essentially, I'm just flattening. I'm not... See, again, buyers willing to buy just at the slightest dip right now, which is not great. But I'm going to give them a chance. I'm going to give these sellers a chance. These are the ones who potentially have sparked the move off. I'm going to give them a chance to basically, and not allow to defend and not allow these buyers to make much progress. So I want to see quickly get below this buy volume. I want to see sellers really push it down, get below that buy volume, and call those buyers to start exiting. Then we might have a move here. All right, we're starting to get a bit below. I want to see sellers keep piling on the pressure here. 75, 51. I've got my finger on flatten just in case, because buyers could just jump in really hard and just push this market up again, because we're not out of the danger zone yet. We're still very much in sort of, look, see, buyers are willing. They're starting to defend a little bit, those sellers. We saw 100 just get triggered right there. If those sellers start failing and are not able to keep the buyers at bay, then, we might as well flatten here. And I don't think the move is ready. Unfortunately not. I don't think it's ready. Look at that. Buyers were able to get past a lot of those sellers. I'm going to give them one last chance. Maybe sellers will come in here, or are they not interested anymore? Oh, big buyers still coming in. Let's get below them. Come on. Come on, sellers. Add volume. There is a little bit of volume being added. Nothing major yet. Come on. Keep adding. All right, let's get below all this buy volume. We need to get below all these buyers. Ideally, we need to get, below here, maybe a little bit lower. Otherwise, this is, buyers are just going to keep trying to buy it up basically on every dip, which they're doing. So we need to get below them. We're struggling here. Sellers are just not coming in again. They did come in a bit at the beginning. And it looked okay for maybe a minute or so, but then buyers were just willing to buy up at the bottom here. And look at that. They're still willing to buy higher up. They're not even buying, well, they're buying the dips, but then they're happy to keep buying even up here, which is insane. They're not even waiting for a pullback, these buyers. All right, there was a bit of sell volume coming in. Come on. Nah, see, we're trading straight away. We almost trade above them. This is the last shot here. If these sellers cannot get below these buyers, I'm getting out. They have to get below, and I'll just get out at break even. It's no big deal. Come on, get below 111, 90, 95, 79. They're getting bought up a bit. 109. Come on, get that number red. Nah, they got bought up, unfortunately. Yeah, they failed. I'm going to get out here just before. It's not going to happen, at least not yet. A few times they were trying it, but just, yeah, buyers are just a bit too angry right now. Chart with MG. Sammy, how are you? I'm really good. How are you, my friend? All right. Well, I'm going to start switching to more of a bullish bias now. These buyers are just a little bit too aggressive. We've got a gap here now. Let's move that up. We've got a bunch of smaller ones higher up. I still think sellers will take over somewhere. Hard to know exactly where, but I do think sellers will come in. They're just waiting for something. just not ready to short it too aggressively yet. Oops, shit, what have I done? Move that. Let me zoom in. Oh, that was a lot. What happened there? What am I down? 490. All right, that's fine. Do that one good trade. I can double it. Just need those sellers to come in. Still bearish, actually. They've finally found a bit of interest, the sellers here. I don't want to jump in just yet. I really wish I saw what the hell happened up here. Just want to see if buyers are still buying it. 118.92. They're still sort of buying it. They're still coming in. Yeah, they're still coming in. They're not ready yet. Trying to formulate a plan here. Because part of me is starting to look at maybe where would the sellers come in? Oof. I mean, here doesn't look bad. There's a place for sellers to come in, to be honest. We've got the gap. They are coming in again. They might. The volume distribution is slowly starting to look bearish now because you've got buyers more kind of at the top of the candles, but it's small amounts. And what's dangerous about these buyers is that they're willing to keep trading. They're not willing to give up. So I just need to see like a good chunk of buyers really fail. This doesn't look terrible, to be honest. It doesn't look terrible for a short, but then my stop has to be quite big. I'm going to hold off. I'm going to wait. No, I'm going to wait. I think buyers still have a little bit of juice left. Yeah, all right. There we saw a big chunk of buyers trying to come in. I want to see what happens with these guys. Are they effective? Oh, they're not looking good. All right, I'm going to go short one more time. Maybe this is the move now. Maybe this is where the sellers can finally take control and actually push this market down. I'll have my finger on flatten. We need to get below all this volume. This is their second attempt now to do it. Come on, see, buyers are willing to buy the bottom again. But as long as those sellers keep wiping out those buyers, that was a good little wipe out there, but we need to see follow through with it. 80, 50, they're starting to wake up a bit, the sellers, which is good. But they got to keep at it. There we go. There we go. All right, good. Let's get below all that buy volume. I think really it starts like here, to be fair. We want to see all those buyers drop out and lose everything. Get stopped out here. 95. Oh, they got bought up again. They're still willing to buy these buyers. Come on, sellers, keep adding it. Don't slow down now. 115, 107, 147, 58. Good. Excellent. That's it. Come on. There's a bit of an iceberg here. They need to add more volume to break through here. There's a little bit of absorption happening. That's it. Come on, really break through. There we go. Give me a good pop now. Come on, let's get below that big chunk of buyers. And then we got another area which is interesting. We've got the point of control there. So there's a lot of areas the sellers have to really break through in order to really, extend down again and close that gap. So it might not happen. So I've still got my finger on flatten to potentially just get out at the worst sign of trouble. Oh, that doesn't look good. We got so close to taking them out. Come on. Don't give up here now. We need to take out those. I want to see big sell numbers appear as we get into this kind of area, right? Because that will indicate to me buyers as we get into this kind of area, somewhere around here, I want to see big sell numbers just spike up, because that would indicate buyers have dropped out. They haven't truly dropped out the market properly yet. A lot of these buyers, they're still kind of in the market. I want to see it really spike up the volume. Here we go. Come on, show me a good spike. 200, nice. I think some of them are starting to drop out now. Good. We're getting to that point of control. We need to get below. We can still do more. Sellers can still do more though. This is the first area of danger because we've got the, well, not the first, one of the areas of danger because we've got the point of control there. We've got a lot of buy stops are going to be below this little consolidation here. So there's going to be some defensive play happening. So if we can really just kind of clear them, oh, beautiful, beautiful. But they're starting to slow down a bit here because naturally, like I said, this is the first kind of area. But as long as sellers can keep piling on the pressure, I want to see sell numbers keep increasing, keep jumping in. Yes, good. Look at that, 60, 120. Beautiful. There's some stops getting triggered. Here we go. All right, let's get past that point of control, that blue line there. Come on. I want to see the numbers keep increasing on the sell side. 24, 34, 56. Come on, keep it going. 53. Give me another 100. Come on, another 100 contracts. There it is, 150. Come on, bit more then. If it's still 150 hasn't broken it. Give me a bit more. 200. Beautiful. Come on. Break through that iceberg. Break through. Come on, boys. You got this. Yeah, it's starting to look a bit like sellers are failing at the point of control. I might take my money here. I'm going to get out. I'm taking it. 200 something contracts on the sell side loaded and couldn't break through here. It looks bad, If 200 couldn't do it, sellers, it's unlikely they're going to add, 400 maybe to break through, maybe 500, who knows? But it's unlikely they're going to have the... they're going to put in that kind of volume to actually break through. So there's going to need to be some kind of pullback. So more sellers come in again at a better price and potentially push it down. So, and it's good that I did get out there because look at that instant push move up again. It just didn't have enough, but they did really well though. Sellers did quite well. They were building momentum. I do still think sellers are going to take this. Overall, it's just that point of control, There's a lot of orders sat there. Cherry, good to see you. How are you, Cherry? Justin, great to see you. Have to say, I love how you interact with the market. So easy to let it get the best of you, but you make it exciting. Thank you, Justin. Thank you. All right, so next up, I have no idea what my balance is. Okay, so I'm a little bit green for the day. Because I did get chopped up in these areas here. I shorted here and then shorted here, and then eventually the short kind of worked out, but still didn't work out properly. I wanted a bit more, I'm not going to lie. I thought we could really extend back down, but we are looking quite bullish. I'm not going to... The structure of the market is very bullish. So I do believe that this low here, if sellers can take over again and take out this low, the structure is going to be a break in structure, right? Because we had, push up, higher low, higher high, higher low. And if we go and break that higher low, I think buyers will kind of step off a little bit for a while. They might be like, maybe not. So let's see. Let's see if the sellers can do this now. If not, I mean, if we take out the high here, it's just going to be again a higher high, and it's just going to fuel more buyers and scare more sellers at shorting. So the chances are this is actually a very important area right now. If you actually look just structure wise, very important, because you could see the market two ways, right? Depending on how you view it, you can either view this as, you know, a push up, retracement, and then continuation down, right? So there's going to be sellers willing to short as they are right now, you know, to try and see this as just a retracement of a bearish trend. But then you got other people who could view this retracement. It might be a retracement, it might be a reversal. We don't know yet. Who would view this as, you know, bullish structure. So there's going to be a battle. So really, depending what happens, you know, if we take out this high here, take out this low here, that can really short term could definitely give us more clarity whether we're going to go up or down overall. But so I'm not too interested right now in trying to trade this, because I know this is going to be a choppy area, because buyers and sellers right now, we're dead in the middle between the high and the low. This is chop central. So I kind of want to sit back and just allow it to happen, see who wins, and then I'll form my bias based on what's actually going to happen here. But at this moment in time, definitely looks like the bulls are doing better. Look at all those sellers that came in and kind of failed. Buyers are buying it up again. They're getting above the sellers. It does look a bit more bullish, but I'm not going to write off the sellers, because we could poke up a little bit and the sellers could come in super aggressive like they just did and push us down. This is why this is chop central right now. And I don't want to short here, because the buyers could do the exact same thing. And essentially we just get a sideways little range, very tight area kind of in here, and you just get chopped up. And I wouldn't be surprised if a little range does form here. If we just kind of go up and down in this kind of area for a little while, I wouldn't be surprised by it. Because now I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, this is starting to look bearish. Buyers at the top, trading below the buyers. But I just know the buyers are willing to come back in lower down. They're going to potentially push this up. Oh, maybe not. Look at that. Maybe not. Maybe the sellers are just that good. Oh, this is looking very bearish, this volume distribution. They're getting absorbed. All right, I want to see what happens here. If I may jump in again. I may jump in 5, 4 small numbers. Nah, the buyers are buying it up. It's not ready. It's not. Oh, sellers are coming in quite high up. I mean, quite low down. Oh, this is tough. This is hard. Part of me really wants to short here. Another part is very weary. Nah, that's good. Nah. When you're on the fence about something, better not do anything, right? If I'm on the fence about like, it could be bullish, could be bearish, that's when you know you're gambling then. Yeah, see, buyers just managed to take it up. It looked for a second there, though, so now it's looking more bullish again, because, you know, sellers are trapped at the bottom. Buyers are now trading above them. Bunch of stops are going to be up here. Look at all those buyers came in heavy, failed. I think we're ranging. We're going to have a little range, like I said. Are you weary? Are you where are wary? Are you weary? Are wary? Sorry, Mark. I don't understand what you mean. Are you asking why am I weary or wary? Because, like I explained earlier, you can view the market in two different lights right now. You can either view this push up we've had as a retracement of a bearish trend, or you can view the push up as a bullish trend, start of a new bullish trend. So really the highs and lows between these last two highs and lows that were created, so this low and this high, is really going to be quite a important area right now in determining whether we go up or down, or whether the overall sentiment of traders are going to be up and down. Because if we break the high, a lot of sellers are going to be like, it might actually be bullish now because it's created another higher high, right? And loads of buyers are going to look at that and say, it is creating another higher high, keep buying, this is a bullish trend. If we break this low, we've now broken that bullish trend structure, right? By taking out the higher low. A lot of buyers might step back and be like, shit. Yeah, maybe it's not bullish anymore. And they'll stop trying to buy it. And that will give sellers more opportunity and give, a bit more breathing room to start shorting it. And then we can just start flooding down again. And that's why we've got this little battle going on right here in this tiny little range, which we're just breaking out by the looks of it. Because it kind of becomes a bit 50-50, becomes hard to kind of predict. I think there are just too many puts. Need to deplete those one more time. They're hesitating down here too long. Exactly, Justin. With your wonderful accent, it sounded like you said you were weary, tired, but you meant wary, cautious. Oh, right. I'm with you, Mark. My bad. I'm with you. Justin just entered short MES. Nice. It's not a bad place to short, to be honest. This could just be a little, it's not a terrible place. There's a lot of, we didn't see that much volume get spiked out. This could just be a little pop above that little consolidation area and then a quick reversal. Possible head and shoulders on ES 1 minute. Gotcha. Very nice. Yeah, I can kind of see it on NQ as well. Oh, this is actually not looking terrible for a short. We've got a lot because those buyers are fresh. I'm gonna assume those buyers there at 94 and 187 are sellers getting stopped out. These are fresh buyers, sellers coming in quite aggressive below them, but I want to see them be a little bit more effective because buyers were able just to push them up there. But if those buyers are quite successful at getting it higher, then I'll hold off. But it's not, it could potentially happen here. I've got my finger on a short on the sell button just in case I see something. 65, 90, 90, 100, 81, 68. They're still getting bought up though. Buyers are still willing to buy. They haven't exhausted themselves yet. 16, 11, 19, 39, 47. There's sell volume coming in, but they're kind of struggling here. 100. They should be able to push it down a bit more than that with the volume that they're posting. Oh, it's a tough one. The only reason I haven't gone in short yet is that the sellers are putting a lot of volume in, but they're not they're being really bad right now. They're really not moving this market at all, even with that volume. So if they can keep chipping away, there must be an iceberg of some kind sitting here, propping up this market. If they can chip away at it, they could break it. Oh, they just did. It might. Oh, nah, they got bought up again. I feel like the battle is still happening. Sellers want it. They look like they want it more than buyers, to be fair. But buyers are more efficient. ZT Compton, good morning to you. Yeah, too much hesitation usually means up. Exactly. This is kind of. But I almost see them being successful here because they're chipping away at an iceberg right now. They're kind of they're being slow, but they are chipping away at it, and they're not equally. They're not really getting completely destroyed here, and I'm not seeing a lot of aggressive buyers. The only thing, oh God, it just becomes the only reason it's risky. It's okay, fine. There's aggressive buyers. You see, they might not necessarily come in there, but they might come in a bit lower down. But the fact that we're below them again quite quickly, the sellers are doing quite well. There's just an iceberg here. I'm gonna have to have a big stop though. All right, give me a better price. Give me a bit of a better price. Come on, push it up a little bit. Give me a good price so I can enter. Because I'm going to bet on these sellers now. Give me a good price. Come on. Give me a good price. 12. The volume's dying off here. 61. There's a bunch of buyers. I want to see what happens to these buyers. 90, 97, 86, 78, 95. They're still reloading. Okay, I want to see these buyers. If these buyers fail, then I can enter and put my stop above them. No, they're not failing. I've got a better price now, but give me an entry. Just show me something. Come on. Show me something. 37, 25, 40, 28, 46. They're reloading. All right, I'm going to enter. I've gone in short again. I'm going to try bet that these sellers are going to try and take it out. In terms of my stop really does have to be above that high, which is slightly annoying. I don't want it to be that big. But if I am right, we are taking. There's a good chance we're going to take out that low. There's some big volume. All right. Some big volume. I got my finger on flatten because honestly, we're still in that choppy area, but I want to see sellers really just pile it on and destroy these buyers now. Don't allow the buyers to even make. There's a lot of sell pressure. Good. I think that's some of these buyers here actually exiting. Or maybe not. Some of them did buy up again, but we want to get below that 51 very quickly. Come on now. Come on now. Ay. Come on, what is this? They failed. Don't fail here, boys. Come on. Ooh. Oh, this is choppy. The way it's jumping up and down. Big wicks. I really don't like it. I don't like this at all. Oh, that's a... Come on, sellers. Where were you? You were there a minute ago. You came in heavy. Come on. You're going to allow the buyers to bully you like that? Are you kidding me? Come on, look at these buyers coming back in again. Come on, sellers, get below them now. I might have to get out break even here. Come on. You got this. These freaking buyers came out of nowhere. Let's get below them. Where are you, sellers? There you are. I mean, I didn't actually really see any sell volume come in there. But okay, I'll take it. The candle went down. I'll take it. Come on. If we can get below these buyers, because they're the buyers right now trying to defend their position. If we can squeeze them out, get below them, I think the buyers are going to give up. That's it. That's it. That's it. There's some of the buyers dropping out. Good. Now sellers have to keep reloading. There we go. Beautiful. All right. Let's see if we can take out that low. Right. That point of control as well. This is going to be a very choppy area. We've got another little wick here, that low there. That's the first area we need to take out. If we fail there, we ain't taken out the point of control yet. So look at that. Even with that volume, buyers are still willing to buy it here. They are taking the piss here. Absolutely taking the piss. This is too choppy, this area, for my liking. I don't like it, boys. I might get out here. All right, there was a bit of sellers coming in 70. But nah, look, they did nothing. Come on. They did well for a few candles there, and then they just, I don't know what happened. I'm going to get out. I'm taking the money. I'm getting out because it's too choppy, man. It's still too choppy. We're still very much in this battle. Buyers are still seeing it as potentially a higher low. Sellers are, it's anyone's game still, you know? No one has given up truly. It's going to be choppy, although we're still pretty much in that range if you actually think about it. Like, yeah, we poked out a little bit, but for the most part, we're still pretty much in the range. We're going up and down, up and down. We're not actually going anywhere yet. You know, we're kind of just going up and down. What's going on there? Oh, there we go. Yeah. Captain Kurum, I expected buyers to take control. What footprint indicator are you using? Captain, it's not an indicator. If you go on my channel, there's a video called how to set up the volume footprint on TradingView that explains how to get it, but it's not actually an indicator. It's a charting type, but you need the premium TradingView, right? And the CME data subscription, and you can only really use it on CME products as well. I sense a shifty move up. I can't trust it. Too much hesitation. Looks like it was just a 100 MA test, and now Pump Fest continues. Justin, you could be right, man. This could go up or down. This has become very 50-50 to me. And you could see in the volume, it's 50-50. Buyers and sellers are kind of both are very similar in terms of their level of aggression and how they're playing it. There's not a clear kind of winner here. Sellers will take control a little bit and buyers will push them back up, and then sellers will take control again and buyers will take control. It's basically a range. So yeah, what can you do, right? You just got to wait it out, essentially. Just got to wait it out. See, now sellers are looking good again, but I don't trust it, man. I just don't. I don't trust these buyers to not buy it at the bottom here and back up again. Look at that. Buyers are coming in. And again, yep, they're starting to prop it up. Same thing. Yeah, the deciding factor will be these two, that high here or this low here. That's really the deciding factor of this market right now. And not just like a little break. I mean, you've got to actually break properly. You know, if it just sort of like wicks it a little bit, I don't count that as a break. But all this is just sideways market. So I would treat it as a range bound market. When we get to these highs, you short. When you get to the lows, long, and just have really tight stops and, you know, small take profits. Don't hold for any extensions or breakouts. Just take your money when you get, you know, close to the top, near to the top or near to the bottom. That's probably the best way to trade this until something happens. Let's have a look at a 15-minute. Yeah, we got very close to that little gap there. I'm surprised we didn't just. I'm sorry. When I look at the 15-minute, I see bearish. I'm still bearish on this market overall. Tamslin. Hey, bud, how's it going? Been a tough few months for me. No payout since February. Can't seem to grasp this market currently. Any advice? I mean, I think just it's hard to. I mean, it's hard to know where you're going wrong. Do you know what I mean? Is it what kind of trader? How do you normally trade, Tamslin? Do you normally, you know, have like intraday? Do you normally wait for big kind of moves, or are you like a scalper like I am, or like? Because when the markets are choppy, the best thing to do is just take base hits. Don't look for the big moves. You know, if you enter a trade, once it gives you a few hundred, get out. Just take the little hits, you know, little base hits here and there, and just have really good kind of timed entries based on the footprint. Mark says, I sent you an email with PineScript the other day that enhanced the chart with PVP, institutional level marker, delta divergence, plus some more. I know you don't like noise. Maybe you could look. Okay, awesome. I'll have a look, Mark. You said you sent it by email, right? I'll have a look after this stream. Oh, sellers might be taking it here. Look at that. We're starting. Oh, this is not looking bad. I don't want to chase the volume, but I've got that FOMO in me right now kicking in. Usually scale in and out with micro scalping, looking for 10 to 50 points. I find that when I'm down a fair amount on the day, 500 to 600, I size up looking to make it better. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so Tamslin, this is I used to do that as well. That is completely normal. Most people do that. The only way I managed to kind of flip it around, it's not to do with strategy, nothing like that. It's simply have hard rules of a max loss and a max win for the day. So if you got like I don't know, like a 50K account or something, right? So 50K, your max loss, I believe, will be like 2,000, right? 2K usually around that. Obviously, you don't have a max win. You can win as much as you want. Well, depending on the prop firm and whatnot. But basically, use micros. Once you hit 250 win or 250 loss, lock yourself out. Like genuinely, if you can just walk away when you hit 250, even if it's one trade and it was really shit and you timed it wrong and you're like, doesn't matter. The moment you hit 250 loss, lock yourself out for that day. Come back the next day. And as long as you're kind of generally have more green days than losing days, you'll find at the end of the month you will have a payout, almost guaranteed. Because it's always, the amount of times I see people, and the amount of times I did it as well, where you would build up an account, you'd have a really good kind of, you build up a good balance, and then one single day where you just couldn't walk away, you wipe it all out. Because then and when it comes to size, stick to the same size. Forget about, trying to like make it up quickly by increasing your size. Just stick to the same size. Doesn't matter. Every trade the exact same size. All right. Okay, Aditya. I do see you. I do see your comment. Don't worry. You don't need to spam the chat. I do see you. Look at XAU USD. All right. We'll have a quick look at gold. But again, I don't really trade gold, my friend. So it's not really something. But I'll have a look at gold long term, because I can't really use the footprint with gold, to be honest. Let me look at the hour chart. Oh, wow. Okay. So I'm just going to do a few volume profiles. Switch that to 24. All right, we've got a bunch of gaps all around here. We've got one there, one here. I'm just going to show you the more longer term kind of analysis for gold. That one just kind of got eaten through. All right, if gold gets near, but this is futures, not CFD though. So the price, you're going to have to look at the futures chart, all right? Yeah, I would look at buying gold intraday if we got around here. 525 on the futures. Okay? You have to I know X. Yeah, but it doesn't. I'm a volume based trader, and with CFD you can't really get volume. Okay? So I have to use the futures market. Does that make sense? I'm not like a CFD kind of trader that does like candlesticks and all that. Like, I'm completely useless at that. That's just not how I trade. So I can only really show you how I break down the market and what I'm like. If you're looking for like candlestick patterns and stuff, like honestly, I'm completely pointless at that. Like I just can't do it. But if you look at the chart, will be the same. It's just the price will be a bit different on XAU USD, but the actual chart and the movement is exactly the same. So if you look at around where it was Tuesday, 31st of March, on the 1 hour chart, you see that candle there, Let me put it as candlesticks real quick. That candle there. When it gets to that kind of low, I'll be interested in looking at buying again intraday. So we're not far off. I would have an alert set there. When we get there, I'll be looking at buying. All right. And in terms of shorting it, in terms of take profit, it's really hard to know. Because again, I would probably target the point of control, so that area there. But I would look at it constantly and update. If I see failure happen around this little gap here, I'll just take my money. I wouldn't really hold the trade. But definitely I'll be interested in buying on that low there. Got a nice dip, a nice gap in volume. Good rejection before. This will be the first time we've properly visit it. I would expect a reaction of some kind, whether it will go back to these highs or just to this high or maybe just halfway. No idea. Like there's just no way of knowing, because it's like a domino effect, the market. No problem. No problem. I'll go back to NQ real quick. Let's have a look. Zoom in. All right. Okay, so we couldn't take out that low yet. Oh, sellers are still willing to short lower down. But we didn't take out the low. Just trying to gauge. Let me get rid of this black line. We don't need that anymore. Oh, this might be okay to go in short. I think sellers might take it. I'm going to go in short quickly. If I see any failure here, I'll just get out. I'm going to see if the momentum can carry through. I don't normally chase volume, but nah, we're getting a bit of failure here. 65, 63, no, it's good. 90, they're adding. I just want to see them break through that low. Nah, they're getting absorbed a bit. Ugh. Bit of buying happening, come on. 61, 66, 74, 33, nah, buyers are coming back in again. They couldn't break it. Yeah, I'm getting out. Didn't quite happen. I thought maybe the sellers might just take out the low then quickly. All right, we'll wait for a bit of a better price. But again, buyers failing here. This is starting to become. I do think they're going to break it. This is the problem. Oh, you bastards! They're breaking it now. Overall, it does feel bearish, but they are getting a lot of puts in with moving it so slow like this. So they probably won't let it down until they can deplete and shake those more. Very possible, Justin. Very possible. There is definitely. It's not a smooth ride at the moment. Let's just put it that way. That pissed me off, man. I should have held that. I got a little bit spooked there. I thought it would just rotate. There's the spike. I was one candle too late. Never mind. I mean, too early. All right. Although I haven't seen the buyers actually exit. We didn't really see the buyers get stopped out yet. They're actually buying it again, which is generally a bad sign for the bears. So rather than get stopped out, the buyers, they're willing to add more volume into the market where their stop loss should be, which is generally shows a lot of aggression. Yeah, they're actually buying into it. That alone is kind of making me think it's bullish now. Because if they're not giving up yet, they might give up here. Do we see the sellers spike in volume? Not yet. The buyers are still in the market. They're still holding it. There, they're exiting. All right, the buyers are exiting. They held for a little while, and they actually added to their losing position, but now they're finally exiting, the buyers. So no, I don't think it's bullish anymore. Oh, look at that. That's the spike I was waiting for, and all of them getting wiped out. Damn. I'm annoyed I got out of that trade. All right, well, looks like it's bearish again. Good stuff. Good stuff. Now we just got to wait for, I guess, a pullback of some kind, some sort of entry opportunity. Not much we can really do right now. I don't want to chase the volume either. Damn. Yeah, let's see this candle here. This is all this volume or all those buyers getting wiped out completely. Hi, Sammy. Pyrex, good to see you. I'm trying out a Delta footprint chart setup to learn order flow. However, it's not on TradingView, but that's fine. Yeah, no, that's absolutely fine. It doesn't matter really which one you're using. As long as you get used to it and you like what you see, and you know how to use it, and it looks, looks good to the eye. I think footprint trading is more about visually what's good for the eye. As long as you can read it nice and clear, that's all that matters. Like for me, a lot of people like the profile view. This just makes it difficult for me to read. And I think it's because some numbers are black, some numbers are going to be white because of depending whether it's colored or like that 70 becomes quite difficult to read because it's half and half, and it just, I don't know. It's just an extra bit of information. I don't know, that I don't really need on the chart, that annoyed me. Why did I get out there, man? I could see the sellers were willing to short lower down. I should have just held through it. Never mind. What I've realized is that NQ moves quick, and I've been getting caught up in spikes like that one you've just seen. I think it's called stop runs. Yes, it moves in my direction, but once the buyer seller stop loss gets hit, it reverses. Why? So it doesn't always reverse. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So everything is like a domino effect in the market, right? So you're absolutely right that a lot of the time when it spikes, like that spike there, 100%, the majority of the volume you're seeing here are, buyers getting stopped out, right? A lot of that sell volume. Now, the only way it will reverse and continue and go back up again is if buyers are willing to start buying again. If you see fresh buying coming in and not really any sellers interested in selling anymore, right? Then the market will essentially reverse up. Or sometimes, like, see it this way as well. Because when you're looking at the footprint, those sell numbers could be two things, right? No, sorry, three things, right? They could be one, new sellers, so people actually hitting short the sell button. It could be that. It could be buyers getting stopped out, right? So buyers stop loss being there, getting hit. Or it could be sellers take profit, right? Because a sell take profit getting hit is a buy limit order, which gets matched up to an aggressive seller, and it comes out as a sell on the footprint, right? So it could be either of those three things, right? So you gotta apply logic to where you're seeing those numbers, right? We're seeing those numbers, below a low, most likely buyers getting stopped out, right? Just kind of logically makes sense. So we know that those are buyers getting stopped out. But say it was, at the low of the day or something, right? Where you're going to expect a lot of sellers take profits to be as well, and you see a spike in numbers, that's actually sellers exiting the market, right? It's not actually stop hunts anymore. It's no one's getting really stopped out. Those are sellers exiting the market. And therefore, they have no reason to jump back in. There's no real new sell pressure going to come in. That's actually sell pressure leaving the market. And that's why you get those reversals sometimes as well, right? So depending on what you're seeing, if you're seeing sellers exiting, taking profit, there's a higher chance the market could reverse again because, well, they're already out. They've already taken their money, right? If you're seeing buyers get stopped out, there's a good chance, sellers will keep shorting into that, and buyers are going to back off for a bit and wait for another opportunity to jump back in. So it might keep going down for a bit. Or if it's real new fresh sellers coming in, then yeah, the market could keep going down. And the same works for buyers as well, right? Obviously, just flip everything I just said for the buyers. Hey, Sammy, I'm kind of new to footprint trading. So you recommend to chase the 1-to-1 or stick as long as possible until the other team takes control? Yeah, I would say, play it by ear. I don't have like a fixed risk reward. Really just kind of, look at what's actually happening. The moment you see this ain't looking good, just best just to get the hell out, because the problem is in certain, don't get me wrong, some days the markets can just keep going and going and going, and then you can make a lot of money if you just hold. But majority of the time the market, especially for a scalper, is tricky as hell. Like imagine even if you got a perfect entry and bought here and you had your stop here and you were aiming for like a really high up, aiming for these highs, you could have got stopped out here and you'd be like, oh, what a joke. Do you know what I mean? Like the markets can be really just up and down, even though it might go somewhere, it can still just, it doesn't go smoothly, most of the time the markets are like that. So it's better off to kind of just take those base hits in general, So then there will be no more sellers, less interest in selling from sellers at that point. Therefore, it reverses. Exactly, Pyrex, exactly. So like, as we get to the low of the day, like we know there's going to be a shit ton of take profits there, right? There's going to be sellers taking profit. So the moment we touch that area, right? And here's another reason why you get stuff like this happen, okay? So again, using context, you see all these buyers come in. That's not real buyers, right? There's going to be an element of real buying. Don't get me wrong. There's always going to be an element of real buyers coming in. But do you know what probably the majority of this volume actually is? It's a combination of two things, right? We're getting so close to the TP, right? To the low of the day. So that's going to be a lot of take profits sitting there. Some seller is getting out manually, literally hitting flatten. A big seller is getting out aggressively. So basically exiting, not as a take profit, not as a limit order, but literally as a market order. And therefore they appear as buyers as well. Probably because to ensure that they get a good exit, right? Because if everyone is piling all their buy limits here, their take profits basically, their sell take profits here, not everyone's might get filled. Do you know what I mean? There's gonna might be a bit of a lack of liquidity here. So not a lot of sellers who are in the market wanting to ensure that they get out the market, they might manually exit a little bit early, just kind of front run it a bit. They don't give a shit if it's just one tick or two away. Who cares? They're just getting out early. And this big kind of candle appears that looks like loads of buyers, but it's actually some seller getting out a bit early. Do you know what I mean? Manually. And then it starts a chain reaction, right? As the candle gets quite high, like, gets bigger, you got sellers trailing the market. Imagine some sellers trailing their stop loss, all getting stopped out then in profit, but still getting stopped out, And then you got an element of new buyers and thinking, oh, this is a reversal, buy, buy, buy. And you get some fresh buyers coming in until, fresh sellers are willing to come back in again and just push it down to the TP, So there's like it's like a story. Everything matters within context. So never like chase one of these big random bullish candles or bearish candles, near an obvious high or low, because they're usually they're deceptive. Let's just put it that way. So if you chased that, you would right now be in drawdown. Sellers are still in the market. Do you know what I mean? They still haven't truly got out the market yet. Some did. Some seller got out the market. Few got stopped out, getting trailed out. But there's still a lot of sell volume in this market. So yeah, and they're just willing to short it again. As soon as they just see it as a little bit of a pullback, good opportunity, they come in heavy, and then boom, it goes back down again. So yeah, they're usually quite deceptive, those candles there. But where are we overall in the chart? Oh, we're getting close to that daily gap there. Not looking bad. How many points away are we? Where's the measurement tool? All right, 42 points from the gap. Gap fill would be 94 points. I think it could do that. It's not that far away. It could absolutely do that. It could easily do 90 points, the NQ. You could do it in one candle sometimes. Also, I haven't actually checked any news if anything interesting has come out today. Just looking at the red stuff. There we go. A bit earlier, market open. Iran has just informed us that they are in a state of collapse. They want to open the Hormuz as soon as possible. Okay. UAE Energy Minister. UAE is doing this at the right time. What are they doing? Oh, decides to exit. Oh my God. Okay. Damn. Fair play. All right, well, that's going to shake up the oil markets. That happened ages ago, though. So I've got another like 10 minutes on this stream, and then unfortunately I do have to leave. But hopefully we get one more trade in those 10 minutes, right? One good trade in. I would still be short, realistically speaking, although this is the low of the day. Are there going to be take profits? There's definitely going to be take profits there, but I can't imagine it would be the area where it will reverse. Because we're so close to that gap. Everyone knows that gap is there. A gap fill is one of the best setups to trade. They just happen. When they happen, they happen, and it's almost, I would never say guaranteed, but there's such a high probability of a gap fill. I'd be surprised if it doesn't fill that gap, especially when you're that close to it. Oh, well, a nice chunk of sellers came in there. 60 contracts in one go. Boom. So yeah, and this is why you get shit like this happening. Whenever you get very close to like a significant low, you sometimes get a few ticks away, and then all of a sudden a big bullish candle appears. Nothing to do with people buying. It's just some absolute dickhead out there who is in a short decides to manually exit a few ticks away from everyone's take profit just so they can guarantee an exit for themselves. And you get that happen. And you'll see, like, granted, a few sellers have exited in that little area, so it's not going to be as big as we might expect. But the moment we touch that kind of that low of the day, this black line, you're going to see the sell volume spike up, because there's going to be shorts, people who are shorting or are currently in a short taking profit. It's going to happen. So we get close to it. I would estimate at least 200 maybe. Oh, 130, 180. There it is, 230. Instantly just appeared. There's a bunch of take profits getting triggered. And a few stops as well of people who did buy in this area here. There's going to be some element of buyers as well getting stopped out. And we're getting closer and closer to that gap. I still think sellers are holding. A lot of sellers are going to be holding for a much bigger move as well. You know? I think the gap fill is really where most people have got their eyes on. That low of the day, a few people taking profit, sure. But I can imagine there's the gap fill is going to really move this market. It's going to cause something. So I'll be looking at potentially going bullish near the bottom of the gap. If I see a lot of sell volume at the bottom here, then I know a lot of sellers have exited the market. They've taken their profit. If fresh buyers come in, willing to buy, and there's not really that many sellers anymore willing to short because, the move has already happened now for the sellers. Yeah, we get a nice kind of reversal up here. And again, people getting trailed out as well. Definitely a bit of fresh buying happening. The way you can tell whether something's a good way of looking at to kind of gauge the true buy pressure in the market, right? It's like look at this right here will give you a good indication of the true buy pressure in the market. And the reason being is because this cannot be stops, it can't be take profits, it can't be anything like that, because it would have been triggered here already, right? So the fact that it came, as long as it's between this candle, whatever volume's being printed here is real. It's actual real fresh people coming in. And it's not a huge amount, So a lot of this big random spikes, that's going to be an element of sellers getting trailed out and whatnot. And well, yeah, it's most likely sellers getting trailed out. That's pretty much what it would be. But in order to keep pushing this market down, sellers need to be willing to short low down. And they are still willing to somewhat short. You're seeing sell volume come in. This is all legit sell volume right now, right? Coming in quite aggressively low down. They're not, they're not afraid to short lower down. So I'm still confident the gap is going to get filled. But yeah, like I mentioned earlier, though, there were two areas. All this chop we had in this kind of area here really came down to this low here or this high here. If we took out this high here, the market would have shot up. If we take out that low here, the market will easily shoot down. We've had a much, we've had a good kind of movement down since we took out that low, just because there was two ways people could view the market at that point, right? There was only two ways you could have viewed the market. You could have viewed it as bearish, and this is obviously leg down, retracement, so a lower high, and then a lower low getting created and continuation. Or you could view this as a higher high, like a new trend, higher low, higher high, higher low, and then higher high once it takes out that high. So buyers are going to give up the moment you take out this low here. There's not going to be that many buyers anymore interested, because they're like, the structure of the market doesn't fit bullish anymore for them. So they're going to be a bit more like, all right, they'll give up, and then sellers have the possibility to take it over. If you take out this high here, if we took that out, don't get me wrong, sellers will still be willing to short more just because of how big this whole move down is. But they'll probably give up a little bit and then come back in maybe a bit higher up, wherever these highs and stuff. But yeah, this is why we had that chop in this area here, and it became a little bit annoying to trade that area just because of two opposing views there were. But once one of them get taken out, then it becomes clear. Now we're back bearish until the sellers exit the market, essentially, which I believe is going to be at the gap fill. One minute is too quick for a beginner like me. Cumulative volume delta divergence right now, no. Let's have a look. A delta divergence. Let's have a look. When did you write that? 3:56. No. Minus. NQ is going crazy. I know ZT. I don't see a divergence. Pyrex. On previous low to... Oh, okay, I see what you mean. So from this low to this low, basically. Right. Minus 7,000. Minus 9, minus 9. Yeah, there is, yeah. You're right. There is. There's an extra 2,000 contracts, basically, sell contracts in the market. So that's a build up there. That's actually a very good thing you pointed out there. Doesn't necessarily mean we're going to shoot up instantly, but the sellers are becoming less and less efficient, and it's kind of the first red flags are starting to appear for the sellers. The moment the sellers exit the market, I think buyers are going to take control again. The question is it going to happen here? 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 Hard to know, but I do believe since we're so close to that gap fill, there's a good chance it's most likely going to be in this area here. I think most sellers are still going to short this market until this gap is filled. So they're going to, we're going to get little retracements. Sellers are just going to come in heavy again until you see a shit ton of sell volume just appear out of nowhere. Once, once we take out a low, or once we're kind of, at not all-time lows, but daily lows, if that makes sense. It's like if you see a shit ton of sell volume here, that's actual just real sellers selling. But we're looking for take profits, right? So anywhere in this area, there could be a bunch of TPs. If we go down there and you just see a ton of sellers just appear, sellers are taking profit, releasing pressure out the market. There's a good chance we could shoot up. Now, don't get me wrong, buyers could theoretically take control here. If they come in aggressively enough, sellers are going to start dropping out, right? And might give up. But again, they'll need to break this high here. There's got to be some structure being built before that it starts becoming clear that this is a bullish market again, and it'll still be choppy, Oh shit, it's 4:00. Unfortunately, guys, I do have to go. I have an interview that I'm going to be late for. But everyone, I'll be back tomorrow again, 9:30 Eastern for the Open. Thank you all for tuning in. I'll catch you all tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.